from the youngest to the oldest. It's New Year's Day and we're off to central Otago to have a look at some more high country tracks. Staying off the tar seal as much as possible with the wee LJ50 that has a cruising speed of 80 kilometres an hour. We thought it best to stay off the main road. So as many back roads as possible. We've got 320 kilometres to cover. Over the Mackenzie Pass, hang a left, over the Hakataramia Pass, through to Kyeburn, down to Duntroon, and then over the Danzies Pass. Some great driving, some great scenery, and it's a hell of a shortcut. We've had the 5-door Jimny 6 months or so now, and it hasn't been out on a proper trip, so now's time. So we're heading for Middlemarch. We've got a unit booked at the campground, as the weather has been rather rubbish of lately. We're going to take a wee detour over Mount Kyeburn, around Mount Buster, and that'll take you down into Naseby. On the map it looks like a shortcut, but it takes a lot extra time, but the views are well worth it. Here we are at the start of the Mount Kyeburn track, just earing down. We're heading up over that way, over Kyeburn, around Buster, and we're going to drop down the other side and into Naseby. It's part of our afternoon drive. just stopped for a breather. We're not at the summit yet, we're heading up there. Just having a bit of a look around. Getting fairly high now. And over in the distance there, you can see the Danzies Pass Road. You can actually see some dust from a couple of cars going along there at the moment. Nice piece of countryside. So we're pretty much on top of Kyeburn now. Just parked up here on the shingle scree, and we are overlooking the Buster diggings down there, and the rest of the Otago Reserve spans out beyond. Down there would be Brown Hut, and in that gully, down in that gully, is Tailings Hut. We'll carry on this bit of track here, head down past Buster diggings, and then down over past Mount Buster, and we will drop down into Naseby very soon. Not a very big hut. Hello, floorboards are up. Someone's broken it. Oh, you might get. Yeah, you sleep two in here at a pinch. Yeah. Coming down off the Mount Buster now, overlooking the plains below. Quite the view. You can see down in the distance some dead trees. That's where the Danzies Pass Hotel is, in that area. So this is the last water crossing coming down off the Mount Buster track. So from here on, it's pretty much shingle roads and tar seal all the way through to Middlemarch, where we meet Lockie, who's waiting there. He has the solid axle swapped diesel Vitara. So tomorrow morning we're looking at going into the Rock and Pillar Ranges. Stick around. So we've arrived at the access track. We're going to head up what looks like it could be a bit gloomy today. Forecast isn't great. The three Zooks in tow. Just steering down. Climb begins. got too much further, we're going to be right in the cloud. So our views are going to disappear. So before we do get up in there, just having a look at the area below. Great view. And that over there, right there is Middlemarch, where we stayed last night. Found a wee hut to have a look at. 5-minute break. We're right up in amongst the cloud now. She's a bit worse for wear. But once upon a time when it was a new hut, it would have had a great view overlooking the plains below. You'll get a glimpse here of how the traction control works on these wee Jimnys. It works very well. Just stopping off for a wee look at this hut, Leaning Lodge. Last time we were up here, probably 2 years ago, it was under construction. It's a private hut, I believe. So the Leaning Lodge hut is owned by the Otago Tramping and Mountaineering Club, but it can be booked through the dock website. It's an awesome hut, modern, clean and tidy. And you'll see here the old hut that it replaced just a few years ago. This has got to be the flashiest long drop toilet I've seen. So down there is the view of the plains below, but we can't see it for the cloud at the moment. But this toilet, full alloy door, so it's a toilet with a view, isn't it? Friggin' heck. Nicely finished, well looked after. It's a shame about the cloud. We stopped along the top, took a wee stroll to Summit Rock, which has an elevation of 1450 metres. It was cold, 6 degrees and windy. We didn't hang around for too long. So the next stop off was Big Hut, and it is a historic alpine hut owned and maintained by the Strath Tyree Agricultural Rural Tourism. Bookings are required again done through the dock website. This is a very roomy hut. As you can see by the name, we are at Big Hut. And there's a lot of work been going on here since we were here last. So this is a dock hut. It's been here for quite some time. And it was originally used for skiers and that in this location. Skiing the slopes down here. Relics of old buildings here. But we're stopping here for lunch. We'll go in and have a look. Very roomy hut. It's a big hut. We're now on our way down the other side of the Rock and Pillar Ranges, and we are heading for the Loganburn Reservoir for a bit of a look. Now, because the weather was overcast and we couldn't show you any nice views, instead we'll leave you with some Suzuki action. We have arrived at the Loganburn Reservoir. We're going to go down and have a look at see if they're spilling any water. She's pumping out some water. Go down and have a wee look. So the Loganburn Dam was built in the early 80s, and its purpose is for irrigation to surrounding farms. It does have a small power generator, and it is used when they're spilling water. Great wee place to look at. He's very quiet, old mate. So we're on our way back to Middlemarch. We've left the Loganburn Dam, and before we get down onto the flat, we can see where we've been today. We started down here and went up, and basically we've been right across the top of those ranges and beyond into the Loganburn, and yeah, now we're heading back to Middlemarch to camp. Been a good day, the weather's held off. It's a shame we got to the cloud, but anyway. So before we got into Middlemarch, we stopped off and had a look at the Sutton Salt Lake. Now this is New Zealand's only inland salt lake, and the water on it is about half as salty as seawater. This particular time she's a wee bit dry, but still good for a stop off and have a look. So that's the end of day one, approximately 120 kilometres covered. Thanks for coming along with us on the journey. Make sure you subscribe so you can catch day two, where we head across the Lauder Basin. Cheers.